How do entrepreneurial families, busy entrepreneurial families, stick together in a topsy-turvy, rapidly changing world? The answer coming up with Renee Warren and the Family Academy right here on the Reinvention Chronicles. At the epicenter of Family Academy, which is growing online all over North America and different parts of the world. Renee Warren is joining us. Renee, you've created something. I just caught it on Facebook. Congratulations. But I got to start right away with these cards. Like these cards, I'm just picturing how the dinner conversation changes forever when families get around and ask questions to their kids, questions like, what instrument would you love to play really well? And if you had to give all your toys away, who would you give them to? I think these are compelling questions around any dinner table, but why entrepreneurial families, Renee?
So the forcing function for us, and for anybody who has young kids know, it's almost impossible to have them sit around a dinner table and actually complete their meals because they want to get up and they're fidgety and they want to play. So for us, between 5 and 6 p.m. every day is our non-negotiable in terms of family time. Disconnected, we eat meals together. And because of that, and it was such a huge value for myself growing up, I needed to find a way to actually entertain my boys at the dinner table. So I created these questions.
And these questions actually get asked around that dinner table outside over there in the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be? So what's the intent here in terms of, I think there's an obvious intent in terms of getting families reconnected at dinner, but is there something more to this, Renee?
It's learning more about them and learning more about ourselves. And there's actually one card that I keep going back to as the big intent is, when do you call 911? And that we have a 4 and a 5-year-old that actually don't know how to do that or why they do that. They just think that firemen show up.
Right.
And so going through these questions, that being an example of one, actually teaches them those important things, but also instills the values. So one of the questions in there is, who did you help today?
Okay.
Right? And when you think about it, and if you come up to the dinner table and you don't have an answer for that, you think, okay, you know what, I'll help somebody tomorrow because I didn't today. And so this is just the type of conversation that we have around the dinner table. We even bring these in the car with us if we're going on road trips or on plane rides. I've given tons away as gifts, but the whole idea is just to learn a little bit more about them, to get those deeper connections and deeper relationship with the kids.
Now, Renee, you've already got a background in the world of online public relations. You just released a book. So you've already got all the entrepreneurial cred, but what was it in the entrepreneurial family world that you saw as a need that Family Academy had to fill?
So the impetus for Family Academy was a result of, self-subscribed PTSD. My husband and I had 2 kids, built 2 businesses, and moved twice in 2 years. So most people do that in a lifetime. We did it in 24 months. And it wasn't by design, it just happened. The thing that kept us alive and had a good marriage and had great relationships with our kids was applying business philosophies to family life.
Now, just saying that, business philosophies to family life, do people do a double take?
Entrepreneurs are like, I want to sign up today.
Okay.
And then the 9-to-5ers are like, I don't understand this, but they appreciate it because what I do applies to anybody, but because our lives, we're just surrounded by entrepreneurs, we've created this for.
In a nutshell, for anyone watching, how would you explain how to run a family like a business?
So spreadsheets, Gantt charts, schedules, that you would do at the office, you do with your family.
For example,
We do weekly meetings. We call it the Martel Clan meeting. And every Friday at 11:30, we sit together, Dan and I, and we go through a list of criteria every single week. It starts out by saying, what were your 3 big wins, which could be personal or professional. Then we rate each other's role as a husband or a wife. So we say, 1 out of 10, how was I as a wife this week? And this is no holds bar, it's total open communication, and we're open up for constructive criticism. And so days that I score an 11, I just treat myself to some chocolate and maybe a glass of wine. But days where my score isn't so great allows us to have the communications right away. So this is the time and place to talk about why I wasn't a good wife, or the thing that I did, or something that I said. So instead of having months and years of this stuff compounding to eventually becoming a full-blown argument, we're nipping the stuff in the bud right away.
gotcha. And so consequently, the team at home stays on the same page
Absolutely.
longer with fewer disruptions.
Yeah, and then the next thing we talk about is our financials. So I know that, for me, in any sort of partnership, whether it's a business partnership or marriage or a significant other, it's important that everybody has an idea of what's going on financially. In our relationship, Dan manages the finances, but I know everything that's happening. So in a worst case scenario, then I know what decisions need to be made, what's where, who has what, who's managing what. And then it also allows us to know, it's the comforting factor too.
And if there's one thing, Renee, that entrepreneurial families, when both partners have businesses and very busy lives, what's the one thing that you think they need to know that gives them a ray of hope, that the light at the end of the tunnel isn't a freight train?
Right.
What can you weigh in on that?
Oh geez, there's a lot. I guess it's to know that you're both moving in the same direction. So, Dan's an excellent entrepreneur. He's conquered mountains literally, and I'm not that far behind him. But to know that we're kind of aiming for the same thing is the most important, regardless of who's making what money. This is what we want as a family, and this is how we're both going to contribute. So that's my hope for all other entrepreneur families.
Final thought: what's the goal? What's the dream or the vision, I guess, for Family Academy? Because when I saw the thing. Oh, by the way, before I wrap, the workshop. You've actually started doing workshops with the little guys.
Yes.
Oh, I got to get you to talk about that.
So really quickly, I launched a workshop called the Mini Maker Workshop, which teaches entrepreneurship to kids between the ages of 5 and 10. And the first workshop that we did was a test case, and it went really, really well. We had 30 kids and about 5 or 6 different speakers that came in and rotated through 10-minute conversations about different things like how to network. And how to network was essentially teaching them how to shake a hand, introduce yourself, and say something kind of fun about yourself. So you can imagine a 5-year-old saying, "Hi, nice to meet you. My name's Renee." Mind blown. But those are the little things that teach kids about life as an adult, but as an entrepreneur. And at the end of the event, we had 4 gorgeous real-life lemonade stands built, and we divided all of the students up into teams. They got to create their business name, the advertising, the price of their product, what products they were selling, and then introduce this and present it to the people that attended the event.
I think the Mini Maker Workshop is a slam dunk winner. Are you planning more in the future? And is this going to be a part of the whole Family Academy experience?
It's a 1/3 of kind of the curriculum to Family Academy. Yes, I want this. So the idea for the Mini Maker Workshop is, if you're familiar with Startup Weekend, it's anybody in the world can host a Startup Weekend, and there's just guidelines to follow. So my hope is that anybody in the world can coordinate their own Mini Maker Workshop to teach entrepreneurship to their community of children.
We're always fascinated here with stories of reinvention. Renee, how do you think you're reinventing the way a family, an entrepreneurial family, conducts its business, so to speak?
Well, I'm just hoping that there's more people that want to become entrepreneurs as a result of understanding that you can apply Family Academy practices to their family life so that we can all serve a purpose in the world in following our dreams.
Renee, I think it's just like I say, it's a real winner. It's very much needed. Anyone who wants more information, obviously, it's Family Academy.
.co.
.co.
Yeah, familyacademy.co. Family Academy Co. on Instagram and Twitter. Yeah, you can email me, Renee at familyacademy.co.
There's and if there's one more question that I have to pull out of here, just totally randomly, Renee, if you could give away all the money in your piggy bank, what or who would you give it to?
Oh no, that's not fair. I don't have a piggy bank. If I could give away my kids' piggy bank money.
Yeah, then that's a different story.
I know.
Well, listen, we're having all kinds of fun here learning about Family Academy, and now you have a chance to learn about it as well. Renee Warren, thanks so much for doing this.
Thanks for having
And
me.
hopefully some of these ideas will help you recreate and reimagine the business, the life, and the family that you deserve.